Batman issue 103 finds a young Bruce meditating out in the Gobi Desert when he is confronted by Ghostmaker, who wants to fight Bruce, but the man doesn't want to fight, wanting him to come back in the morning. Ghostmaker puts his swords in the sand, joining Bruce and telling him this isn't like the man, irritated that Bruce won't let him try out his new 3 forms of martial arts before he goes and finds a new teacher. He says Bruce has sucked all the fun out of it without trying, asking Bruce why he's so boring now. Bruce says that today is the anniversary of his parents' death, wanting the man to leave him be. Ghostmaker says that brooding doesn't count and he needs to be conscious of every grain of sand. Bruce realizes that's a teaching of the Desert Kings, realizing that Ghostmaker has already been taught by them, making the man apologize for Bruce failing yet again, saying while it might not happen right away or at once, it will happen thanks to Bruce's emotions. Ghostmaker says that he will kill Bruce, prompting Bruce to grab one of his swords, readying for a fight, telling Ghostmaker that caring doesn't make him weak, and he's going to prove it. In the present, Batman battles Ghostmaker as Oracle wants to know what's happening, not being able to see Ghostmaker from any angle, and his voice is distorted. Batman says that she won't find the villain in any records or database, telling her to stop looking for him since if she finds the ghost net, it will eat her computers alive. Bruce does tell her that the villain's name is Ghostmaker and he shouldn't be there in Gotham. Ghostmaker remembers when Bruce would make fun of his name, remembering Bruce said that he didn't need a mask or pseudonym to fight crime in Gotham. He wonders how long it was until the man started calling himself Batman, finding it a rather clever name however. Oracle can't hear the villain, wanting to know what is happening, so Batman tells her the villain is upset he made fun of him for dressing like a 15-year-old, and he has beaten him every time they have fought since he turned 20. Ghostmaker tells Bruce what he's been doing since he came to Gotham 12 hours ago, revealing that he leaked the activities of 14 judges to the papers, getting them all arrested, solved a string of homicides that weren't linked together because the killer didn't have any gimmick or put on a costume, and lastly he sent the locations of 6 incoming shipments of weapons from Santa Prisca to the police. He reveals he did all that before even leaving his plane, while Bruce was busy protecting children like Clown Hunter, who has already been twisted into a killer. The villain sets his sight on Clown Hunter, prompting Batman to tell Bao to run as he gives chase. Batman uses one of the villain's own swords to pin his cape to the ground, trapping him on the roof. Ghostmaker rips the sword out of the ground, saying that this is all personal for Bruce and he cares too much, and since he's failing, he needs to shock the hero into seeing it. The villain says that he's going to kill the kid in front of Batman and he will finally see the bad job he's been doing in Gotham. Batman calls him a psychopath, getting the villain to remember that's exactly the Bruce he knew. Harley Quinn meanwhile talks to one of her poison ivy plants, hoping that they are relaying her message to the real poison ivy. She knows she needs to stop touching the plant since it's giving her rashes as she fills Ivy in on what has been happening lately and how she shot Joker in the head and Batman saved her. She wonders what she is to do next as Clown Hunter silently enters her apartment, intending on finishing his mission. Harley says that there was always someone telling her who to fight, be it Joker or Waller, and she knows she won't be saving the world or something, but knows maybe now she can do better and be a better person on her own terms. She puts the plant back on the windowsill, saying that she loves Poison Ivy, hoping one day she'll come back and take her to the party. Harley quickly dodges the Clown Hunter's attack as the boy notes that she talks to plants a lot. Harley reveals to the boy that since she has been on the other side of psychiatric help, she knows that having a totem to have a conversation with people who aren't there anymore is helpful. Clown Hunter hits Harley with his elbow, making her realize that she's being attacked by a teenager in a skateboard helmet. Bao is surprised she can tell, but Harley says that he stinks like a teenager, telling the boy to get some deodorant. Harley begins toying with the boy, dodging his Bat, whose name makes Harley laugh out loud, finding the child funny. Clown Hunter wants Harley to stop playing, so Harley says the novelty of killing people has worn out, but if she was to kill the boy, she doubts that that would sit well with Batman. Clown Hunter is outraged a woman like her thinks she can be a good guy, what with all the people she has killed, but Harley knows that the people who keep track of that sort of stuff are often more nuts than she is, and not in the fun way. She tells the boy that she tries not to live in the past and her future is shiny and bright. A bloody Batman comes crashing through her window window, telling Bao he was to run, but the boy wants to finish what he started. Harley hopes that Batman isn't mad since she didn't kill the boy or anything, only tied him up, and is hoping to toss him to the cops so he can be tormented by the city's broken justice system. Harley notices Batman has been stabbed multiple times, with swords hanging out of his back, knowing whoever did this is bound to show up soon. Ghostmaker does, telling Harley that he knows who she is and guesses she's Clown Hunter's target. He reassures her that he's a crime fighter, but Harley thinks Ghostmaker is a dumb name. The villain fires a tranquilizer dart at her, saying that he hates this city as Batman says the name Denton Quill, revealing that was the serial killer Ghostmaker caught, and that he was being watched by Cassandra Cain for 2 weeks, waiting for him to reveal where he kept his victims' trophies. But now, thanks to the villain, the victims' families will only live with hearsay and won't get any closure. Ghostmaker knows that that's just an excuse, but Batman says that the judges he got arrested were under the thumb of Tiger Shark, and he just destroyed a RICO case that would have put Tiger Shark behind bars for life. The villain thinks that Batman is lying, but he knows the Ghostnet already has the files that reveal this, and if he just looked he would have known. Batman also reveals that he replaced the shells in the weapons from Santa Prisca with faulty ones, and was waiting to take down the buyers in Gotham, proving he did so by telling Ghostmaker of a crate of chickens along with a recipe book that was in the container along with the weapons. Batman says that he's not perfect and he could always do better for the city, but the villain doesn't understand Gotham or what it needs, whereas Batman does. Ghostmaker says that Clown Hunter killed 24 people in the Joker War, and that's 3 times more than what Denton Quill did, and now Batman is protecting him. Batman says that if he was thrown in Blackgate, Clown Hunter would just continue killing and the guards would even help him. Because of that, Ghostmaker wants to kill him since Batman can't, knowing the hero always lets his emotions get in the way. Ghostmaker tranquilizes Batman, telling him that he's taking him off the field and then he's going to show him what Gotham City can be with a real crime fighter in charge. Batman issue 103 saw Batman and Ghostmaker finally battle one another as the villain sets his sight on Gotham and Clown Hunter. I really enjoyed more of Bruce's past with the villain getting revealed, along with how the two have been feuding for quite some time now, with Bruce seemingly always getting the upper hand on the villain in some way. I like that the villain seems to have a pretty good plan in place to try and help Gotham. You can tell he wants to help Gotham and become a better Batman, but as Batman says, the villain doesn't know Gotham and how the city operates, and things aren't always what they seem, shown here with the 3 crimes Ghostmaker thought he solved, but instead he just made it a little bit worse since he only looked at the black and white of it all, which kind of makes me think there is some type of symbolism there with him thinking in black and white and his costume being in black and white. I thought that was quite a nice little touch. Harley's part of the issue was also thoroughly enjoyable, and I liked her trying to contact Ivy and try and get in contact with her again, since it looks like we could be possibly heading towards an actual in-continuity relationship between both of them, and I'm all for it. It also means that we might get to see more of Poison Ivy, who seemingly went back to being a villain, and that would be kind of a cool thing for Harley to sort of follow, and maybe even go back to being a villain herself. Could be a cool sort of moral dilemma for her to deal with. With how this issue ended, I'm looking forward to seeing what Gotham under Ghostmaker is like and how Batman and his family will stop the villain. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10.